If you are someone who suffers from anxiety and panic attacks, then your number one enemy is your own attention. Now, what do I mean by that? When you give your attention to the external reality, you are feeding your enemy. And as Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, says, what you focus on, what you feed grows. If you feed shit, shit grows. If you feed your growth grows even more, if that makes sense. So, what do I exactly mean by your external reality? Anything that is physical is in your external reality, even your body and the people around you and the circumstances and situations and events around you all constitute your external reality. Now, if you give attention to the people in your external reality, if you give attention to what they are saying to you, if you give attention to your heart beating, if you give attention to your bodily symptoms, if you give attention to all the people that are worrying about you, all the people that are saying bad things about you because you haven't been able to handle yourself well emotionally, then you are feeding your enemy. This external reality is referred to as Maya in yogic concept. Maya is the external reality and it means illusion because it is just a projection from your own mind. Now, that's a very eye opening moment when you finally realize that the external reality, your personal external reality, is just a projection from your own mind. Your mind has all the impressions of your past trauma, of your crisis, of all the sufferings that you went through, of all the negative thoughts and feelings are impressed in your mind. And all these things are reflected in your external situations. And then you face one tragedy after another. You you are never happy because your mind has all the bad things contained in them. So your external reality is bad and you never feel happy and you are always anxious and you are always having panic attacks and you impress anxiety into your mind and you again create bad external circumstances. You give attention to your external circumstances. You again impress anxiety. And this is a continuous loop that you never get out of. So, how do you get out of this? How do you finally stop giving attention to your external reality? It's simple. You simply turn inwards. What do I mean by turning inwards? You close your eyes, you start to relax. You start to relax your body so much that your heart is no longer beaten down by anxiety and panic attacks. When do you actually find out that your heart has completely relaxed? It's when you get a sense of a psychological floating. It's when you lose awareness of all the problems in your life. It's when your body is almost asleep, but your mind is awake. That's when you know that your brain is operating on alpha and theta brainwave patterns, and you are very suggestible to your own auto suggestions. Now, when you finally are able to relax your body, your heart, then you can change your body, you can change the external reality, you can create wonderful circumstances in your life. The secret to doing that is impressing your mind with all the good things, with all the good emotions, just like you have impressed your mind right now with all the bad things, all the trauma, all the bad feelings, and you're suffering. You can Just turn that around. You start to impress your mind with all the glorious things, all the beautiful images of your desired future, all the amazing elevated emotions and feelings of gratitude, of empowerment, of joy. And to impress all these things in your mind is a very simple process, because all you have to do is you relax. I have already made a video on how to relax. If you don't know how to relax, then just type in Yoga Nidra meditation on YouTube, and you are going to be able to relax like never before. Or you can just check out my 20 minutes video on my YouTube channel on how to chant Om, AUM. And when you chant Om for at least 20 to 25 minutes, then you are going to achieve a state of relaxation. Then, what you have to do to impress your mind with all the glorious things is you start to visualize that you are living your life after your anxiety and panic attacks are healed. What are the things that you are currently not able to do because of your anxiety and panic attacks? You know that very well. Maybe you don't visit certain places, maybe you don't talk to certain people, maybe you don't eat certain foods, maybe you spend a lot of money on therapy, maybe you buy a lot of drugs. Start to visualize that all of these problems are solved. Start to visualize that you are finally visiting all those places without any worry. Start to visualize that people are complimenting you on your new set of confidence and behaviors. Start to visualize that you can eat whatever you want with with no stress and no worry. Start to visualize that you have finally cancelled your subscription for therapy, and you have stopped buying all these drugs, all these SSRIs. Now, the secret to the visualization to make them very effective is completely immersing yourself into this visualization act. And how do you do this? By involving all the sensory modalities in your imaginary act. When you can see things, when you can hear things, when you can smell beautiful things, when you can touch beautiful things in your imaginary act, those imaginary act becomes very real to your mind. The latest research on neuroscience actually says that when you provide the sensory vividness to your imaginary act, your brain physically changes. There are neural networks that physically form in your brain just because you have imagined a particular scenario with all the sensory vividness, and you have mentally rehearsed that imaginary scenario over and over again. The more you replay this imaginary scenario, the stronger the neural network in your brain is going to be formed. And if you completely immerse yourself in this imaginary act and provide all the sensory vividness to this imaginary act and replay this imaginary scenario over and over again, then you're naturally going to feel a lot of powerful emotions, because you're going to hear a lot of compliments from your friends and family on how you have changed as a person. You're naturally going to feel happy and grateful because you can now eat whatever you want. You're naturally going to feel grateful. And if you can maintain, if you can sustain these elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, all these positive emotions, these feelings are very, very powerful. These feelings are actually the secret to changing your life, because once you are able to impress these elevated emotions, these elevated feelings in your mind, then all the visualization that you have done must come to life. This is a law. This is the changeless principle out of which everything in your world is formed. First, there should be imagination in somebody else's mind, and then a thing forms. This phone that you're watching right now, this was just an imagination in somebody else's mind at one point, but right now you're watching my video from your phone. So, first, you have to imagine, and then, if you can completely immerse yourself in your imaginary act and feel amazing feelings of gratitude, of joy, and empowerment, all of those things, all of those visualization act must come to life. It's a spiritual law. You cannot deny this. I challenge you to prove me wrong. And if you prove me wrong, I am going to stop making these kinds of videos because I have first hand experience. I was able to change my life just by simply visualizing and feeling them to be true, feeling a lot of gratitude and empowerment by simply imagining all the wonderful things. I provide one to one coaching in order to help people overcome their anxiety and panic attacks. So, if you want to work with me, then my Viber information, my Telegram information, my WhatsApp information, and even my Gmail information is in the description box down below. Remember, sky's the limit once you truly know how to impress your mind with amazing things and positive feelings. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.